Good evening,
Hello.
everyone, and welcome to GG Epi's session of today. And today we have a very interesting session on OBS, that is Open Broadcasting Studio software, and we have Dr. Deepak Mashru with us, who will teach us as an educator how we can have maximum benefit of OBS Studio. So just as we are streaming right now, we are streaming with another utility. So just as you are viewing this video live on YouTube or live on FB page, this open broadcasting software will help us, enable an educator to broadcast their sessions live in different platforms, different media. So let's learn from Deepak sir. Deepak sir is a very well-known figure with us in the GG Ahmedabad and GG Pune. So he has got many accolades with him. Deepak sir, would you just please introduce once again, because there are many new members with us this time. So over to you, Deepak sir.
Fine. Okay. Good evening, all. I'm Dr. Deepak Mashru from Rajkot. I'm associated with one of the prominent universities of Gujarat, that is Marwadi University. It has been 10 years. I've been working there in the Department of English. My forte is education technology, communication skills, research. As I have fortunately come from various backgrounds, I've done my master's in commerce, master's in management, postgraduate diploma in computer application. I've done my bachelor's in education, my master's in journalism and mass communication, and definitely master's in arts with English. I've done my PhD in applied linguistics, and I believe that a true teacher always keep on learning. So after completing my first doctoral research on applied linguistics, I started another PhD on journalism. Right now, I do my second PhD with OER, that is Open Educational Resources, which is the call of the hour, because people are believing in open sources. People are here there to discuss that what can be shared. It's about sharing and caring. It's not about selling, right? So I
Good.
selected the topic of OER. It's about me. Definitely, very soon I'll be L1 certified because I
Yes.
undergo the training from Visachan and Reshmaman. Because of certain medical emergencies, I could not complete it, but I wanted to share and surprise people with certification. But definitely, it is in a very
I'm
short time to
sure
be done.
I'm sure, sir, we will get to see it pretty soon, because listening to your profile, like, we just feel so small in front of you right now, because
नहीं
you have
वो
such a
थ्री थ्री
vast
थ्री
knowledge.
इडियट्स
And
का
yeah.
वो डायलॉग डायलॉग आता है, जहां पना तू सीक्रेट हो वो
Exactly,
कबूल
यही करना
कीजिए.
चाहिए. Because and we are very happy to have you on this Google Educator
Yes,
group
it's
forum
very
to
inspiring to learn
share,
from you. Yes.
yeah, to share your learning without any expectations. This is a
Right.
platform for voluntary educators who come together to share and inspire others. So you said a
Right.
very beautiful word right now. It is about learning and sharing, not selling. So
Yes.
Yes.
that is the difference between being an educator and being a businessman. So
Right.
I think we are very fortunate to have you here. And without taking much time, I would like to invite you to start the session and welcome all of you, those who are here new. I'm Reshma Honap. I am a GEG leader of Pune and Maharashtra. I'm a Google certified trainer. And with me, Vishal sir, you all know. He's a GEG Ahmedabad and Gujarat leader and a GFE certified trainer as well. So we
Yeah.
welcome all of you. Any questions, please make sure you post it in the chat. We will take up with Dr. Mashru sir as they come along. And let us learn something new that we all would love to understand.
So on this note, I would just like to add something here, Reshma, Matt. Today we have got people from very diverse places, and even associates of Deepak sir here, and we've got a very rich audience today with us. And this audience is something like, they are all passionate educators who are willing to learn this OBS studio concept so that they can benefit with their students. So I welcome all the educators today, and yes, we all are here to learn from Deepak sir. Even me and Reshma are waiting to learn from Deepak sir today,
Yes.
because this is a very good technology. So yes,
Right.
Deepak sir, without wasting time, let us continue.
Fine. This is my second session on GG, Ahmedabad and Pune. First session I conducted on Google crowdsource, right? So how we
Yeah.
can, share details, whatever we know. So this is another session. I'm very excited to even share the details, whatever I little know about it. I'd like to
Deepak
share
sir,
that.
yeah, Deepak sir, you need to share the screen again.
Yeah, I'll do that. Fine.
Just a moment. It will take some time to load. Yeah,
Okay.
fine.
Okay.
So
Done.
we will be in the backstage, sir. We'll come in
Right.
the front stage if any queries are there.
Fine.
Okay, over to
Fine.
you, sir.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you. So, first of all, I'd like to mention one thing that in 1 hour session, you cannot be a pro user. I'm also not a pro user, but one thing is clear that as a teacher, as an educator, whatever you need to carry on your classes, to carry on your sessions, online sessions, and creating your videos, live streaming, that as an educator, whatever you need to know, that I'm going to cover in the session. And definitely the very a special portion of this session, that is Q&A. I've kept time for that. So whatever questions, queries you have, we'll definitely will together discuss about it. Fine. Okay. Now, if I talk about the session flow, so I'm going to cover these points. Introduction to OBS, very small. In 2 minutes time, we'll talk about OBS. I will not go in detail about who created it and what about it, but what exactly it is, we'll talk about it. What are the features, different features of OBS, how OBS works. I'm going to show you, we'll walk through the entire software, and whatever things are there we need to cover, we'll cover. Tips and tricks to complete, to understand OBS and to use OBS effectively. We'll talk about it, and the last portion is about Q&A. So this is the thing. We'll start. We'll cover it up with the first one, introduction, right? So first thing is OBS stands for Open Broadcasting Software. I started using this from the year 2018, right? When I was experimenting for one of my online courses. I wanted to create an online course for Udemy platform. So I was struggling to find out different screen recorders, different softwares. Then, fortunately, I have a very rich source of my students who are from technology backgrounds, right? So I teach in engineering college. It's a university now. So there are students, and students are the best sources to learn. So some of my students, he is a gamer actually. He used this OBS for live streaming games and all. So he suggested that this is the software. So I said, okay, fine, we can have a cup of tea together in my office, and you teach me. So there is no problem in learning from students. So I sat with my student for 2-3 hours, and in couple of sessions I could cover that. Okay, these are the common things that we can experiment, that we can cover, and we can use for recording and live streaming. A second thing, OBS, when it was useful like anything, when my YouTube channel had not 1,000 subscribers. Now, if you want to go live on YouTube, this is a very important thing, that if you, unless and until you have 1,000 subscribers, you cannot go live streaming, even you from your mobile device. You need to go for laptop or some other sources. So OBS plays a vital role. So OBS becomes one hub, right? One common hub where you can connect your YouTube and your device. So this is another best way, which can be considered as another replacement to StreamYard, right? StreamYard is not a free tool, right? You can get some time for using it. After that, you need to pay for it, and whenever you use it, you'll find their logo of StreamYard on the screen, right? But here, OBS, it's free of cost. Second thing is you have multiple options. I'm coming to that when I'll explain the software, right? You have multiple options. If you want to go live on Facebook, you can go for it. If you want to go live on YouTube, you can go for it. If you want to go together, both the things, both the places, even you can go for it. Fine. So these are the things. So here, OBS is free and open source. Fine. The benefit is, every week or in a couple of weeks, when I open OBS, I'll get more notification about update. So if the update is very frequent, so whatever update you find, it will strengthen the OBS in a way, right? And you can easily access this software. I tell you that it will take not more than 3 to 4 hours. If you sit with your this laptop and the software, you will explore whatever you need to learn. You will learn. You may not learn everything, but you will definitely learn whatever you need to learn for OBS, right? I have used this OBS software for webinars. in after the first wave of COVID-19, there were lots of webinars. So at that point of time, even I wanted to go for a way where I can present my presentation, the PPT. Along with that, I wanted to show my face, right? So I wanted to discuss that one. Even that could be done using OBS. So I have used OBS for 3 to 4 years, like anything, right? The website is obsproject.com. If you write OBS on Google, you will get to know, and you can download it, right? You can download it for your Mac, you can download from Apple, you can download for Windows. I have used for Windows, so I'll talk about Windows today, whatever my experience is. Now, when you download OBS, right, and you open OBS, you will find these 7 things, right? These are the 7 parts that we need to discuss, and we will discuss during this session. Fine. Okay. So number 1, the first one over here that you can see, number 1, that is canvas. So whatever we do, right, we'll add whatever things that will be shown here. That means whatever output we want to show to the world, right, that output will be seen here on this screen, number 1. Number 2 is scenes. That means you can add number of scenes. Scenes means here one group, right? So you create one scene, and then you need to go to the sources. When you go for the sources, you will find multiple sources. That means if you want to insert image, video, live feed, website, any software, right? If you want to capture camera from laptop, right now I'm facing camera of my laptop, right? You can add another camera via USB. If you want to go for DSLR, recently I'm going to show you that. Recently I'm working on one other course on effective listening skills. So I have done recording professionally in the studio, and they were using OBS. I was stunned to know that, see, people are using this. Fine. So that video, I'm going to show you a clip of 1 minute or 2 minutes for your reference, that how things can be changed, right? Number 3. Number 4 is audio mixer. The advantage of OBS is you can add multiple layers. For example, if you want to add multiple videos, you can go for it. The more cameras you want to add, you can add, right? If you want to add video and a camera, you can do that, right? And for every source, you will find over here number 4, audio mixer, right? That means if you want to decrease volume, you can do that, right? If you want to add a video where, for example, I would like to, there are lots of people from different branches. For example, there are people from social sciences, there are people from maths, there are people from, languages like me, right? So if I want to talk about one video, so what I'll do is I'll start showing that video. Fine. For example, I want to talk about listening skills. So I will play one audio clip or one video clip of conversation between 2 people, right? It will be played there, and then I'll reduce it, right? And the volume would be low, the way we have background music in the videos. And over here on the other side, I will find myself. Fine, I'll add it and I'll start explaining. So this will be the way you can find that. Now if you go for other softwares, they are charging like anything. If you go for studio, they will charge heavily for the editing. Here you can do it on your own way. Fine. Then number 5 is transitions. Fine. If you want to do like studio, fine. Generally what happens, we find in news, right? So that studio thing, the way right now we can see here in StreamYard that there are 3 people on one side and presentation is going on right now. I am there and presentation is going on. So we can go for such kind of change in layout with transition and whatever motion we want to do. For example, in PowerPoint presentation, we can add animations, right? So swirling and swiping and all those things, even you can do from here scene transitions. So whatever slide transitions are there, the same way we can find here scene transitions, right? So whatever scenes here at number 2 we have done. For example, in one setup we have done this, right? I want a presentation and myself. In scene 2, I want 2 videos, right? For example, 2 teachers are interacting, right? Scene number 3 is only presentation, no video, right? So one by one, you can change it with one click, an entire group of changes scenes that can be toggled easily, right? This is the fifth one. Sixth one is controls. You can find here. You will find here start streaming, start recording, start virtual camera, right? Studio mode, settings, exit, right? These are the things. Over here you will find on the bottom line live. The moment you go on live stream, you will find it here that it will show the timings. If you're recording, it will show you the recording. And here frames per second and CPU usage, right? So these are technical things. We should not go into that one. But here, from here you can control your recording, your streaming, right? And if you go for studio mode, the moment you go for studio mode, you will find instead of one screen, this number one, you will find two screens. That means the screen where you are right now and the screen which will be the next one. So that you can have imagination that, okay, when I click on next, it will be the next one like this. Fine. 7 number is our different menus over here: file, edit, view, profile, scene collection, tools, and help. Fine. Whatever menus mentioned over here, they are here. So generally we will not use such kind of menus because things are given over here, right? And then properties and filters are also there. We'll discuss about those things. So these are 7 things, right? We can say 7 vendors of OBS that we need to understand. If you understand this, we can definitely go for it, right? You will find over here plus, minus, and this keys, right? These are what, if you want to add any scene, you can, by clicking that plus sign, you can add one scene, right? If you want to change the priorities sequence of that scene, you can do that. Same is the case with different sources. Fine. So this is what the basic layout is. I guess it is clear with everybody, right? Okay. Now we want to talk about different features of OBS. The first and the foremost feature that I have liked, right, that is recording. Instead of live streaming, I prefer to use this for my recording purpose, because I have used it for recording like anything. For for 3 years, I guess I have used it for recording. So recording is this is the best platform to record your videos. Fine. I can tell you that you can definitely record through Zoom, right? You can definitely record through Google Meet, right? There are different Screencast is another software. Ice Cream Screener, this Screen Recorder is another software. Even Windows 10 has given another facility, Windows G. If you play, click on that, you can start recording your screen. But the features you find and the way you can customize your screen, that is awesome. Fine. Okay. Now another thing is when you are going live, because somebody mentioned over here that we can live be saved. Yes, you can definitely because you are live streaming with your YouTube, right? So it will be there in YouTube, right? Second thing is, what I used to do was, when I go for live streaming, I used to go for clicking both the things, recording and live streaming. You can do it together. That means when you complete your recording, right, live streaming, the moment it is completed, you will find it saved in document file. You go to document, you go to videos, you will find there. Fine. And live streaming video, whatever has been streamed live, that will be lying there in your account. Fine. So parallelly you can do this together. Yeah. Okay. Video editing. At basic level, video editing you can do. For example, I have seen that lots of people, when they go for video recording, right? So what happens that when they record the mobile with a portrait or rectangle, right, in the mode, in that case they need to flip it. So here in this OBS you will find, right, in OBS you can flip the videos. So the basic editing, if you wish, instead of going to other software, that can be done here too, right? So basic level of editing that is possible here, right? Okay. Now when I talk about different scenes and different sources, see, these are the different sources that can be added. Fine. Now look at it. Audio input capture, audio output capture, browser, right, color source, display capture, game capture, image slideshow, media source, scenes, text, VLC video source, video capture, Windows capture, right? So these are the different types of sources that you can add to. And that too, for example, if I want to add 2 videos, what I can do is I can go for VLC source 1 video source. I go for another. I go for third one. For example, if you want to create a birthday video for your students, or your 10 students have done beautiful job, fine. So what you do is you start adding videos one by one, and those videos can be played one by one, or you can play all the videos together, right? So this is possible with this software, fine. Okay, so these are the different sources. We'll talk about it. For example, what I have used it for browser, right? So directly you can go to the browser and it opens the Chrome or Mozilla Firefox, and then things are open for you, right? Display capture. So whatever is displaying, what is being displayed here, that can be considered, that can be cleared. For example, I want to show you that how to start OBS. So what I'll do is I'll go for display capture, then my desktop will be shown. So whatever I do from my laptop, that will be seen there, right? If you want to go for PowerPoint presentation, what I do is, instead of going for PowerPoint presentation, I used to convert my PowerPoint presentation into PDF, because in PDF you can see the PDF there. In PowerPoint presentation, you need to go for display capture, so you cannot see anything. Fine. So I was comfortable there. I created a template in a way that after converting to PDF, because I need to I teach language, so there are no more animations into my language classes, right? So there are text I need to explain. I'm going to show that video also, how it was created for your reference. So I start my camera, I place myself at one place where I have kept the thing blank for my reference. Fine. If I want to animate the logo of my university, I can do that. So it will look like the way professionally videos are created, and that too while live streaming. Fine. So it is possible. Fine. Then if you want to go for Windows capture, any software, if you want to use it, right, that you can go for Windows capture, and you can go for it. Why I'm giving you this explanation, because after the session, if you want to revisit, right, that okay, what was it, so this reference can be useful to you people, right? We are going to have hands-on demo, right, but this certain material will help you to revisit and get back to the thing, and you can set it out whatever errors you have. Fine. Okay, now we'll go for how OBS works, right? So I'll go for it. I'll take you there. Okay, so I'll share the screen. Okay, this is my entire screen, I guess, right? Okay, so what I'll do is I'll open OBS.
This is going to be really interesting, sir, because we are learning a StreamYard. We are learning a streaming software from another streaming software.
Right.
And people are so excited to learn the demo from you.
Right. Okay. So what I'll do is I'll. Okay. So this would be the way. Then we need to have one scene at least. It will be there. Okay. So here is the scene, right? You can add multiple scenes and you can name it. For example, I can write OBS demo for my reference, right? So this is OBS demo, right? I click there and then I go to sources. Fine. If I click on that, I'll find different sources here. Fine. So what I'll do is I'll go for a Windows capture. Right. When I go for Windows capture, it will ask me. This is what the screen started. Fine. So this is the tab that is working, right? So what I'll do is I can go for StreamYard, Google Chrome, right? This PC, right? YouTube Studio, that is there and open in the tab, one tab, right? This is what I have kept open for you people to show you the demo of my live streaming. So that is there. This PC means this is the PC computer over here, right? So if I go for it, in that case, if I go here If I start OBS, fine. This is my, as I told you that I have created. So this is PDF, fine. So what I did is I opened it in PDF file and then went for Control L, that goes to full screen, right? This is the way I can think of. Okay, this is one page only. Now if I don't want to go for it, I want to go for presentation. So what I'll do is I go for the presentation. I can start presentation from here like this, and it will be shown there, right? This is the way you can go for it. Okay, now we don't want to go for this, discard this. If I want to add my camera, so that'll go for video capture. I'll go for video capture, fine. For that, I guess I need to stop my camera from here, because the same camera cannot be used at both the places, right? Or I need to use my own camera, two cameras. No, that is not possible right now because I have not added another thing, that's why. So here you go for it, you add your camera, and here in camera you can configure if you want to show the brightness, contrast, whatever you want to share, you can set here. You can even go for the camera control. Even if you have back, green screen backside, you can go for chroma key. You must have seen that there are lots of people who go for PowerPoint presentation. In the PowerPoint presentation, they can find themselves, right? So that is also possible with this OBS software, fine. Because my camera is being used there. That's why I guess I won't be able to use it. So I'll open that and I'll show you that. Okay. Okay. Here I'll show you one video that I've created using, just as an homework. I wanted to show you something. Yeah. This is something I thought that no, we can do this. So what we can do is I'll open up. I'll go for Windows Capture. First of all, whatever you want to show, you need to open it. So I'll open this. I'll go for full screen. So it will be there. I'll remove. I'll go for Windows Capture. Clicked. Now it is there. So I added here. Okay. Okay, now I can drag this full screen. Now I in the main screen, what was there, the logo of GG Ahmedabad and GG Pune, it was static. Now what I did is I created, for example, window video capture device. Sorry, I need to go for Windows Capture, where I'll see Okay. Now I want to add one animation, that logo that generally we have. So I'll go for media source. I'll add. Here there's a option loop. So if I click on this loop, it will keep on moving, replaying, right? So what I'll do is I'll go for desktop, OBS, and GG Ahmedabad video, right? That I have created. And that video is here. What I'll do is I'll place here. I created the background same color so that it shows it is good, right? Now I'll go for another media source 2, where I locate the file like GG Pune, right? I'll put it there in loop so that it keep on playing. I'll put it here. Fine. Now if I start recording, fine. I started recording here, so it shows. Fine. So for 10 seconds, I'll record it. I'll go for stop recording. Now what will happen that when I go to videos, fine, this is the video that I wanted to show. These are different videos I have created. So I'll show you the current video that has been created right now. So these are different types of videos. Now this is the video which has been created. If you look at it, you can find this moving. Fine. So that you can do. Getting. Okay.
Dipaksha, there is a quick question over here.
I'll show you some of the videos that I wanted to share. Okay. Then here, whatever audio you have, right? Here, for example, media source 1, media source 2. So whatever videos you add, you can separately, you can set the volume of those sources. So that will help you. That will help you. Definitely, it requires lots of practice, because that will give you, because we being teachers, we are very creative in getting things doing by jugaad, So this is what I have learned. Now you will be surprised to know that this is what I have done. How I created video. If I show that of logo, a very interesting thing, right? What I did is I just set PowerPoint, fine, added the swipe, image, convert it into JPG, they convert it into video form, right? So it can be imported here. So that was the way. So we need to find out on our own ways how we can go for it, right? So these are some certain videos that I like to show you. For example, last year when I started, creating videos, so that was the way. If I can show you this. This was the promo that I created. So when before the live session starts, right, it keeps on moving. Right, I'll show that for 10 seconds. So what I used to do is, by using OBS live streaming, first, the moment people gathering, the people start joining, students joining in the class, right? I'll showing this. That means the students can find, okay, sir is there, we are about to start. So it's a small 10-second video. And this is a small thing that I have created in PowerPoint presentation. then I convert into MP4, and it happened. Right now, the source that we can find is, this was another session that I conducted on live streaming for YouTube. Fine. Look at here. The logo keeps on changing. Fine. Animating. Right. So this is the layout that I created. So where I can place my photograph over here, and the larger portion of the area that I left for my explanation. So whatever I explain, this is the way we can go for conducting the sessions. Right. So this is the way we can go for it. The video that I created, just a minute.
Deepak sir, I would like to add something to what's ongoing here.
Yes.
There are a lot many comments that it is complicated, it's not easy, it's little difficult, right? So one thing which is very interesting over here is for everyone to understand that this is free. Now, to utilize a free software with lot of premium features inbuilt, you will have to make some changes. You have to learn how to do it. So obviously, it appears to be difficult in the first place, but what you can do is you can start in a very slow pace. You can start adding just an image and then record your video. Learn how the videos are recorded over there. Then try to add some presentation to your video. Try to add some image to your video. Slowly, gradually, you will come to know all the different features of it. So it's
right.
See, this is not going to be overnight. कि आपने एक बार सीखा तो सब एक बार में हो गया. So it will take some time, and this is really a quality software. It gives you options to add all different components, and this is there was a quick question that what kind of files can we add into this OBS Studio?
Any file, any format that you have, anything you can add. Word,
so whether it could be it is a presentation or a PDF file or an image or a video.
Yes.
Any file. Yeah, so it's definitely an open broadcast studio. Yeah, so it's an open thing. The thing is that you can have multiple formats in it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Somebody asked a question because I have kept one mobile where YouTube live streaming is going on. So I'm also reading certain comments. Just overview of that. So I could find that how it is different from Google Meet. I tell you that in Google Meet there are limitations. If you don't have the G Suite account, in that case you cannot record it. Fine. In Zoom you can do that, but there are limitations. You need to pin yourself and do that. Here you can have two people together, and lots of customization is possible, right? And I tell you that we people have the group I'm addressing, the teachers I'm addressing over here, they are the people who have non-Google applications, who are technologically sound compared to the other teachers. So definitely it is going to be very easy for them. Only thing is that you need to find out, there are lots of process, because this is the software which has been used professionally by the professionals, right? So we are not going to use that as a pro user, but I tell you that whatever things we need to use, right? At least if we learn that will definitely help you to go for it. I'm going to share one video with you people.
So Deepak sir, there is one more question that people are asking, that can we record our video in a different software and have our slides ready, and then can we edit completely combined together in OBS?
Yeah, definitely. We cannot edit it, but we can merge it. For example, you have done your lecture, fine. For example, in Zoom or in Google Meet. Now we want to add on certain things, right? So you can do that by using over here. For example, you delivered a session. Now that session of 60 minutes, only 20 minutes is important for you, because otherwise the other things were activities. So you can crop those those 20 minutes thing, and you can put it over here, and you can give your comments as a live.
So even this can be used, yeah. So it can be used like taking a live lesson or teaching online, and then you keep it recording on the live session only, and then you share it with your students later so that they can review the whole session afterwards also.
Yes, yes.
Okay,
So
that's great.
I can give you that this can be used for three purposes. Number one, for pre-production. If you want to record your videos for delivering sessions, right? You can record it. If you want to go for production, right? That is, videos are there. If you want to live stream and you go for it, you can go for it. If you want to go for post-production, if you want to edit it, if you want to merge different things, even OBS can be useful. Fine.
Yeah.
I'll show you one.
Yeah. So there was another quick question here that how can we stream live in the YouTube channel or FB, Facebook, using this OBS Studio?
Okay, I'm going to that one. Okay. Now you just look at it, the live streaming. Try connecting over here. You will find right here. What you need to do is you need to add one camera, right? One source. So video capture device. I'll add. I need to stop camera from StreamYard. Then I'll do that over here. Then I go for, okay. So I need to, I'll have to, change unless and until this camera, my camera is being used there at StreamYard, right? It cannot be used for other purpose. Fine. So what you can do is, otherwise you can have two things. So when you go for start streaming, what will happen that it will take you to YouTube channel over here. This is the screen. If you can see this. Yeah, you can have many cameras. Yeah, definitely. So if you are attached to cameras, definitely you can use StreamYard and you can go for live streaming together. But if you're using one camera at a time, in that case there can be a problem. Fine. So over here, this will show you. Now thing is that it asks you a streaming key, right? This software uses as a hub. It's a link between YouTube and your PC. Now over here you can find here default stream, right? This is the key. Over here, if I click on letter, you can see that I can copy this, and if I put this in my StreamYard, right, in my OBS software as a live streaming key, right, just paste and OK, it is done, right? It is done. Now from there, if I generate another key and if I copy that key and I go to Facebook Live, in Facebook Live it will ask me two things: go live or provide link. Where if I provide that link, right, copied from OBS software and paste it there, it will be there. It will another time. What will happen that you are live on YouTube streaming and you can be there live on Facebook. So two things can be there parallelly by using this.
Sure. Here I would like to ask is that can we have scheduling of this live session, or it has to be live and we just perform in the live session?
We can do that both ways. We can go for scheduling. Generally, when I used to conduct sessions, YouTube live streaming, there used to be what we call it scheduled one. So on the time it shows. So after that, certain tips and tricks. Okay, stream link. See, I tell you that stream link when you go for from here, when you start streaming, it will ask you for the key. That key that you will find from YouTube, because YouTube is streaming live. So YouTube has that key of 15 to 16 letters. So that digit you need to copy and paste here. So that what will happen, that whatever is being placed here on this box, that will be broadcast there on YouTube, right? So that is the thing. Okay, there are certain audio videos productions where I had faced few difficulties, right, that I have created here, put it there upon a point of list. Number one, be careful audio settings. Initially, what you have happened that I used to use my Bluetooth device for for delivering lectures for better audio quality. Now, thing is that this desktop has audio. My Bluetooth device, that I add another audio, a special audio, so there used to be echo. So make sure that when you deliver session, and at that time, if you have added more audios, what you find here, right, in this. So what, for example, if you look at a mic auxiliary, you will find that this is being, is active over here. Others are not active, but if I add another audio, it will be active. So there can be echo in the production. Fine. So it's advisable that you put it there in mute mode, other than what is not being used at the particular point of time. So that will not disturb your voice quality, right? Otherwise, it will be difficult for you people to, edit, right? Second is PPT versus PDF. Initial phase, I advise you people that instead of trying directly for PPT, right, you can convert your PPT into PDF file so that you can find it and then you can go for it, right? Live logo, as I mentioned, that you can create what you can do it, whatever school, college you have, you can create animated logo in one entire PDF, one entire PowerPoint presentation, animate it, save as what we call it MP4, and you can import it. It can be utilized for video explanation. As I told you that if you have downloaded, created a video, you can put the video, half screen the video is there, or 75% video is there, and 25% you can be there explaining. Fine. Multiple video playing is possible. As I told you that there are different types of videos that you can add. Either you can play in loop. If you check the checkbox of loop, right, you can go for it, right? And if you go that, okay, I want to play it once only, in that case it can be done. HD recording is possible. The recording that I have done recently, right, is there. I did it with DSLR camera, and the cable was connected to the system. Now there are two advantages. Whatever you want to see, immediately I used to do one thing. Whenever I start recording, I'll record for 10 seconds first. Then I look at it, the sound quality, picture quality, everything, and then I start recording. Fine. Now here another advantage is if you record with SD, fine, what will happen that it will consume lots of space. If you have a memory card of what we call it 128 GB, 256 GB, right, even it will be not enough, because if you record for 30 minutes, if you record for 30 minutes, right, the DSLR camera, 256 GB will be over. So what you can do is you can connect to the system, so that memory card will not be utilized. It will directly go to the system. So whatever editing you want to do, you can go for it. Fine. And as I told you that there are multiple ways of multiple cameras you can add. For example, two people are interacting, so there can be two cameras, rather three cameras. One spotting X, another spotting Y, and another third camera is spotting X and Y together. So this setup can be possible, right, over there, right? So these are the tips that I wanted to share. As I promised that we'll have more session on Q&A. So whatever question answer you have, I'm here to share the details.
Reshma, you're muted.
So I was saying thank you, Deepak sir. It was very informative, but as well as along with that, it was overwhelming for somebody like me who is looking at it for the first time with so many options. But just like Vishal sir said, that these digital tools are something that you have to go yourself and test it out. So try different things, and we have a lot of educators who are replying, like Sukhil sir is also helping out. Anytime you need help, our GEG sessions are there to help each other. So Deepak sir, there is a request in the chat that is it possible for you to have some kind of a short tutorial, like bit by bit, like how to set up, then how to, or maybe if you have a written tutorial or a link to it, if you can share with them later, if you can give it to Vishal sir, we can send it in the email.
Fine, definitely.
So you can even share your you can even share your slide deck so that we can share it with this recording as well.
Yeah. And even I'll find out some beautiful videos from YouTube, right? And I'll also share the links, because there are videos where tutorial one by one things are mentioned there, right? So some of the links I'll also share with Vishal sir, so even these people can be useful, right? And moreover, as I'm available 24/7, so any educator, any colleague, any friend is there who is trying out, and if he or she is stuck anywhere, just I'm one call away. You can WhatsApp me, and I'll try to resolve your issues. Whatever things are there, I'll be there to help you out, right?
And I'm sure nobody can be so proficient and learned like Deepak sir till you don't try it yourself. You just have to push yourself and
Yes.
get things done. So a lot of nice comments, like it was a very interesting session. It is something that we have never seen it, and being free, I think it's a great resource for any educator or teacher who wants to teach online, record the session, send it to their students, or even share it with their colleagues. So besides this, I wanted to uh, tell audience one more thing. Interesting thing about Deepak sir was, I just learned it some time back. Deepak sir is a Guinness Book of World Record holder. And sir, if you can quickly, because we have 10 minutes, maybe if you can just tell us quickly what is that record, and how as an educator you thought about doing something like this in your university.
Right. Okay. Being educator, I keep on experimenting different tools, tech tools to help my students learning English. Right. Some years back, I created WhatsApp groups, and I thought that I can teach my students vocabulary. So instead of bringing students to our platform, why can't we go to their platform and we can share? So I created certain images, right? So what happens there? So I used to create one image, then mnemonic technique to learn that word. For example, parsimony. So people may not remember parsimony, but it gives that "si purse mein money," right? So the person who is very uh, not interested to feel spending money, so that's a the person parsimony can be there. So the purse, then big cross mark, and then parsimony. And one example, I used to share with the students of 13 different groups, and students used to share examples based on those sentences, that words, using that word into the sentence. So in 90 days time, I shared 90 words, and I could find 4,800 words in written, in sentences, in responses. I used to do it in different time. For example, in the morning, 7 o'clock, 12 o'clock in the noon, at night, like that. Another thing that I thought, that how can I make my students more into bringing them to the library, because library is the beautiful place that I love the most. Generally, I am the next to the librarian staff in my university who knows about the books and everything, because I generally, whenever I feel free, I go to the library and explore new things. Every year in one session, I take my students to library, I visit with them, and I show them that these are the resources we have. So I sat with the librarian, and I thought that how can we make students learn to read. So I came across one Guinness World Record, which was done by one country, of reading relay. It was about 1,000 students only, that people, they had read one from one book, one by one sentences simultaneously. So we thought that we people are there from the India, and India is known for Gandhiji. So why can't we take Gandhiji as a role model? So we take up the novel, Gandhiji's autobiography, and we selected the novel. We converted into different sentences, fragments, and that was given to every student. We started with 10 students, and it was 3,500 total, where one by one, every student came to the library, and without gap of 10 seconds, they read one line from autobiography. Fine. So that was the time, and that was a time of 6 months, where we used to held sessions in the library, and we started with 10 students, then 50 students, and 300 students, 1,000 students, and later on there were 2 mock rounds, and then we could complete finally bank for Guinness World Record. And I tell you very proudly that it has been 6 years, and our record is unbeaten yet, right? And there was one lady from Poland. She consulted me over email she got my number, and I also helped out because she was a public library over there in Poland. They wanted to break the record, so I wholeheartedly helped them, wishing them that these are the precautions that you need to do. But unfortunately, they could not break the record, so it is still unbroken, right? So these are different activities that we do in the library. There are book talk shows by students and experts. We keep on doing that.
So it's about the passion that is there inside you that keeps you going to try some creative manners or creative ways to influence students or to get something new. So I think today we have learned something very important thing from Deepak sir is that you must have that passion within you. One thing. The second thing is we must be trying some creative ways to make our student learn. And this award, Guinness Book Award, is one of the creative ways where Deepak sir, actually motivated a lot many students to go through the biography of M.K. Gandhi. So, which is again a new innovative tool. You can say that he has also discovered that this is a way we can educate the students in a way they also get interested in reading these kind of biographies. So, kudos to you, sir. Kudos to your learning spirit. You've inspired us plenty of times. You inspired us a lot today. OBS. One important thing over here I would like to say is Deepak sir is basically an ELT teacher, English language teacher, and today he is teaching us technology. Now, this is completely brilliant. There is no when you are ready to learn something, when you're so passionate, there is no particular field that is not known to you. So this is something very important as an educator. We must learn from Deepak sir that koshish karni hi chahiye. You must learn always something new, and you must try to implement it in your area, in your field. So thank you, Deepak sir, and once again, salutations to you, and for giving us this inspiration as well as this learning.
Yes, thank you so much. And yeah, and I think Vishal sir had posted the feedback link. I know we don't need a feedback for this session because we had a educator, but we always love to hear what other audience has to say. And just like Vishal sir said, thank you so much, Deepak sir, for sharing your expertise with us. And I know audience that might be a little overwhelming right now, but make sure that you try it now. You have been introduced to a new tool, which is free for anybody to use. So just give it a try. Any questions you have, Deepak sir and other educators are there.
Yeah, and if you're trying something new, please, I'm there. Just give me buzz me on WhatsApp. I'll be there to help you. Fine, because I want that my fellow educators use this, and if it can be useful to you for your creative, interactive session, I'll be more than happy.
Okay. Have a good night, all of you.
Thank you. Thank you.
So everyone, have a good night, and thanks for joining us.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Vishwa to play the outro.